We're totally abusing it.
That's how I like it. I don't know why my pants look like I have a bow.
As long as he stays there, I'm fine.
I don't have a bow. I don't
You
need
know,
to be like.
get to sleep.
My pick for the. Do you have a bow?
Alright. You already got your paper ready? Okay.
You have your results paper and then your real paper? You have both?
Yeah.
Okay. What's going on, guys? We're about to do our week 5 predictions. But first we're gonna go over our week 4. This is what mine's looking like. I got 8 out of 15.
And I also got 8 out of 15.
We had different picks though. Like we
Yeah,
had
we had-
different ones.
We had different games right that were, different winners on some games, but overall they're pretty similar.
So we can go ahead and get into week 5. We're starting the week off on Thursday with the Cardinals and the 49ers. Which probably will be a good one because Carson Palmer won't be in. I would say, well, then again, the Cardinals haven't been good with Carson Palmer.
No, they've been,
It should be
they're,
close.
they're 1-3 right now, but I don't think that really defines, I don't think that defines the Cardinals, their record right now. I think they're just a couple little roadblocks they're trying to get over, a couple little kinks they're working out, but
Yeah, I think they'll pull it off just because they have a pretty good overall team. I mean, you can't judge them even though they're 1-3, but I mean, they have looked pretty dysfunctional. But I mean, the 49ers haven't been the greatest either. I'm just gonna go with the Cardinals. I think they pull it off.
I'm gonna pick the Cardinals, but only because of the divisional rivalry, and they are 1-3 if they want to even have a chance.
Yeah.
They gotta start winning divisional games. And it's really the only option they got. So I'm taking the Cardinals. Let's see.
Next one we got the first Sunday game at 1 o'clock. We got the Patriots at the Browns. I think the Patriots will win. Tom Brady's coming back. I mean, he's definitely gonna have to work through some early season mishaps that he's just now getting started on now. But I don't think. I mean, he's been sitting at home for 5 weeks watching the Browns. Like, he doesn't have to worry about.
Yeah, I was about to say, I guarantee all he's been doing is watching Browns film.
I think it should be ugly too.
I think that's the game the whole league's kind of anticipating this week. Does that make sense? What I'm saying? Like,
Let's see how good they are with Tom Brady.
Yeah, let's see.
Which they've been pretty good without
they've
him.
dominated without him. Last week was a rough.
They did get waxed by the Bills.
Yeah, they got shut out. I mean,
But I picked the Bills. I'm proud of them.
Yeah, I hurt Jacoby Brissett. I mean,
I was proud of the Bills because I picked them and I was just in the back of my mind like, what if they just let me down or something?
I think we're both taking the Browns on that one. It's not a horrible. I mean, they're taking the Browns as a loss, Patriots as a win.
Let's see. Next one we got the Eagles at the Lions. I'm just gonna pick the Eagles until they prove me wrong because they've been pretty good. They're 3-0. They had a bye just this past week.
For me, just quick scan down of the schedule this week. These are really hard games for me to pick. Some of them. Like I said, Eagles at the Lions.
The Lions are.
I think I'm gonna just take the Lions, just for the simple fact of what you just said. They're at home. They've had good games at home in the past against. I know it was last season, but against the Packers, a couple good home games against the Packers.
I mean, they're like a team that upsets people all the time. I've heard a lot of Eagles fans worry about this game just because they get upset.
They're a good home team. The Lions are a good home team. They're not the Lions from the year before they drafted Matthew Stafford anymore.
I don't think any team will ever be that bad ever again. 0-16.
I mean, Golden Tate. Come on, Matt Stafford. I'm not gonna just write him off.
They find a way to win a lot. There's a lot of times where they shouldn't win, they find a way.
Next game is the Chicago Bears at the Indianapolis Colts.
This will be a tough one.
The
easy answer would be the Colts, but I mean, they just have not been like the Colts of you would expect.
Is Jay Cutler playing this week? Do you know?
I've heard he probably won't. I've heard he might. Like,
Man.
everything's been on the he might not spectrum, so I doubt it. Like,
I'm gonna write down the Colts.
yeah, I want to give the Bears a chance because they've looked better than you would think without their number one.
I'm gonna write down the Colts, but side note, if Jay Cutler ends up playing, that does change the Bears for me. I don't know about you, but if Jay Cutler comes in, for me that changes from a Colts win to a Bears win. So
I'm just looking at it. The Colts are.
I'm gonna put a star beside this game so I remember. So next week, if Jay Cutler does come in and they win, I'm totally changing my pick with the Bears. It's too early in the week to know if he's playing, so I can't make a fair assumption on my own. For me, at least. So
I'm just going with the Colts either way. I think they'll just.
So you Colts either way.
I mean, not by much, but I just think they've been kind of rough this year, and the Bears have been too. I think the Colts can just find a way. I don't know why. I'm picking them.
You never know. Next game is the Titans at the Dolphins.
Should be a good one.
Dolphins are coming off a rough
That was
loss.
a bad one.
It was a rough loss against the Bengals
AJ
last
Green
week.
tore him in half. Like you got like 30 fantasy points.
Yeah, well, Jarvis Landry had a good little game too.
But he started off really well, and then they just knew that they had to pass. So he only ended up with like 7 or 8 points, I think.
Yeah, he started out strong, like you said, but you were right on when you said, man, AJ Green, he's something else.
They couldn't cover him. I mean, it was just like Julio Jones did. Like he could not be covered, and they knew it, and they just continued to throw to him.
Julio Jones, that's a nasty story.
We'll get to that one. We got back.
I'm taking the Titans. Run game.
I'm gonna go with the Dolphins. I feel like they got beat bad. It was 7-22. I think it was 7-20 something. But I don't know. I think they're better than that. And the Titans have been on a losing streak too. I'm just gonna pick the Dolphins.
I think, yeah, we have our reasons. I'm just picking the Titans. I mean, simply, DeMarco Murray's just...
No, their run game with DeMarco Murray is
he's a menace.
He can't be stopped.
He is just unbelievable.
He is the only reason I won fantasy games this year.
Next game is
This will be good. Steve Smith and it's the Ravens at... It's the Redskins at Ravens.
At the Ravens.
Redskins at Baltimore playing the Ravens. This is going to be so entertaining with Josh Norman and Steve Smith going at it.
I mean, you got two.
They are going to go
two
at it.
egos. That is literally going to deter. I think that is going to decide the winner of this game. That's what I think.
It could. I don't know.
I don't think anybody.
They have so many weapons though. You can't say that because they have Mike Wallace.
At the same, right out the other side of my mouth, I don't think it's very easy to rattle Steve Smith. I mean,
Well, Josh Norman, I think people have been just very critical because he's getting paid so much. They don't want to give him the credit. As a Panthers fan, I wish he was back. It's been an immediate difference.
Yeah.
I mean, the pass rush hasn't been as great as it was last year either.
But still,
Julio
Jones was never going for 300 yards.
No. Not even both games out of the up, he wasn't doing that.
Yeah, he didn't do that both games.
And also, I feel like if they don't let Norman follow him like they've done in the past, I mean, with the exception of Odell Beckham, that he told his defensive coordinator, let me follow him. Like Steve Smith will do the thing where he's like, I'm going to your side. If you're covering that side, you're not going to follow me. I'm going to follow you. Steve Smith will do that. Yeah, he's for real.
He's been known to do that before.
He does that.
Yeah.
We got to get back on track. But I think this is probably gonna be the best game of the week. So far that we've read off, I think the Redskins will just pull it off for some reason. I don't know why. I just feel like I should.
I think they will too.
Matt Jones with those runs, he's like one of their top leading rushers this year. I think he's in the top 5. I know he's in the top 10, so I'm just gonna get with them. They'll run it out.
The
Ravens can't run this year. I mean, they got rid of Justin Forsett for whatever reason. I don't know what is going on with that. I thought he was great. 2 years ago, 1,200 yards, and they cut him. But
all right, so we're both taking Redskins.
Yeah, I'm taking the Redskins. I think they're more solid of a team. The Ravens have impressed me though this year. I will say.
This next game, man, Texans the Vikings.
I'm picking the Vikings because you can't do anything against them.
Me and you said
their defensive line is just maybe the best in the league.
I mean, me and you said they played Monday. Yeah, they played Monday night. Me and you both said it that night when the game was over. We're done betting against the Vikings until we have a reason not to.
No more. I will pick the Vikings until they make me
until they give me a reason not to. I'm picking the Vikings.
I'm not gonna these people that are saying they're better without Adrian Peterson. It's not that they're better. It's they're more well-rounded. They're less predictable.
Yeah.
They used to have a blueprint of how to stop them. It was stop Adrian Peterson, make them pass, they will lose. Now it's
they got Sam Bradford, good passing quarterback.
Yeah, well, a lot of people don't give
him
him credit because he gets hurt all the time. Which he does get hurt, but when he's in, he's a pretty good pocket passer.
Stephon Diggs.
Stephon Diggs is
a monster.
He puts up numbers.
Kyle Rudolph.
And Jerick McKinnon's filled in well. He's been.
Yeah, he really has.
He's been very solid.
Kyle Rudolph's played a big role in that offense too.
Yeah, he really
Huge role. I could not believe how much he played a role Monday night. I couldn't believe it.
We gotta give the Texans some credit too. The Texans have been.
JJ Watt's not playing this week though.
Well, he might not be playing the rest of the year. One report I heard. I don't know if they were just going overboard or something.
I know for a fact.
Yeah, he won't be playing.
He's not there this week.
But they won without him last week. I'm just saying I want to give the Texans a little bit of credit. They've been pretty solid this year. But besides the Patriots loss, but everybody loses the Patriots. It Eagles,
Yeah, it was-
except for the Bills.
Yeah, unless you're the Bills, then you shut them out. But like I said, quick rundown. We're just taking the Vikings. We're not for future videos. Once again, until we have a reason not to, we're not betting against the Vikings.
When I saw them play Carolina, they completely shut down. They shut down the run. They shut down the pass. They had 8 sacks, wasn't it? It was 8 sacks.
8 sacks, 12 hits.
That is like, you're only gonna have like, I mean, you have barely more than 8 drives. That was like each drive they're gonna sack.
Yeah.
Each freaking series they're getting a sack. That is unheard of.
Even the 3 and outs. I mean, they're getting a sack.
Well, that's why they're getting 3 and outs because they couldn't
Yeah.
get sacks, and then they had like multiple hurries. They had a lot of times where they didn't get the sack. So I'm picking the Vikings.
And this next game, this could be so.
I mean, I think there's a clean winner on this one, but it's like
It could be so either way.
it's gonna be a.
The minute it gets out of hand, I think, because I feel like this game, the only team that can get it out of hand is the Jets at the Steelers.
Yeah, Jets at Pittsburgh playing the Steelers.
The Steelers can take a game and let it get out of hand for the betterment of themselves, and when it gets out of hand, it's out of hand. It's done. It's over.
With Le'Veon Bell back, I think they'll establish a run game early. I know that sounds really cliche, but I mean that's what they're gonna do. He had 140 yards his first week back.
Yeah, first week.
I mean they're gonna do that. They're gonna keep doing it until the Jets can't take it anymore. Then you're gonna get burned with a deep pass. I mean they have a very explosive offense. I think the Steelers, as long as they don't play like they did against the Eagles, I think they'll probably beat the Vikings of the AFC. I can't pick them, or I can't stop picking them until they prove me wrong. So I'm gonna go with the Steelers.
I think I'm gonna go with the Jets, just because they come off a really, really good performance in Seattle that a lot of people said they would not do. I mean, I think the final score was 24-17. Most people didn't even think they get a passing touchdown. I think both of them were to Brandon Marshall.
I think they had 16 for some reason. Didn't they have some weird score like that? I know they had multiple touchdowns though.
It might have been something weird.
But
Like that.
I remember looking at the score and thinking they did pretty well. It was pretty good.
A lot of people said they wouldn't go up there and throw the ball, and they did, especially after Ryan Fitzpatrick's 6 interceptions performance the week before. We got to remember, the Eagles just went. They didn't go anywhere. They stayed at home and played the Steelers, and I mean, dominated them 33-3. Dominated them.
Was
I
it?
mean-
No, it was 34, which I don't even know how you hit 34 in a football game. Like they must have had like the craziest.
Oh yeah, it was 34.
34-3. What happened? Well, they keep
There's so
going
many scores. If I'm off by a point or two, guys,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but
I just want to make sure. I know somebody will probably comment.
the point is, the Eagles with a rookie quarterback just absolutely demolished the Steelers.
If you get the Steelers on their back, you can just
And that's what I
You can
think is
get
going to happen,
bad.
because the Jets' defense is good. They're not.
you're not just gonna run it all over them easily. I mean, they will eventually if they stick with it. But if
Yeah.
they don't stick with it, and they abandon it, it's over.
Yeah, they're good.
But I'm still picking the Steelers.
I'm taking the Jets just because I think Brandon Marshall's finally found his role. He's found his rhythm. He's playing Anua. I think Eric Decker's coming back this week. I think he's good.
I think that was a bigger hit than people thought.
He did.
I think people
He's
shrugged
been-
that off because they got Brandon Marshall and they got this new young guy, and
Yeah, he's a big role. He's a big role in their
and
offense.
Matt Forte's healthy, right?
He is healthy.
Okay, I heard he was hurt or something.
He is playing.
He didn't play last week, did he? Or was he kind of limited or something?
He is limited. Yeah, he didn't. I mean,
Matt Forte, if he's healthy, and so is like all their receivers, I mean they can beat anybody. I mean they're capable.
yeah, oh yeah.
They just got to get Ryan Fitzpatrick to play fundamentally sound. Like if he starts getting streaky, that's the last thing they need.
Yeah, they don't need it. But I'm taking the Jets.
Yeah, I got the Steelers on that
Got
one.
the Steelers. That's all the 1 o'clock games. Moving into 4 o'clock games. First game is the Falcons at the Buccaneers.
Broncos,
I'm sorry, Falcons at the Broncos. I apologize, guys. I'm getting ahead of myself.
and they're at Denver, right?
And they are going to Denver.
There will not be a 500-yard passing game. There will not be a 300-yard receiving game for Julio Jones. I think the Broncos pass rush overwhelms Matt Ryan because last week he had all
Overwhelms is the most underused term. Listen, guys. If Cam Newton's going to get pressure like he did, I think it's a general consensus statement that Cam Newton's the best scrambler in the game. He's the best escape artist the game has to offer. Matt Ryan might be the worst next to Tom Brady. Sorry if either two of you
Now that
guys
Peyton
are
Manning
like-
retired, I'd give it to him.
If
No,
two-
last year probably not though.
If Matt Ryan's watching this video, if Tom Brady's watching this video, respect you guys, you're not good at scrambling. Sorry.
Well, they don't need to be. I mean, they have pocket awareness, but I mean, I just think like they're just like the Vikings, like their pass rush is too good.
It's too good.
You can't do anything.
And I'm not betting against them, just like the Vikings.
No, I will say if the Falcons manage to put up like 3 or 4 touchdowns, they'll win.
Oh yeah.
I don't see the Broncos offense.
Trevor Siemian didn't practice today.
Even when he was, I mean, he did have a 4 touchdown game, but he has like.
I'm just saying if he
5
doesn't play,
touchdowns this year.
if he doesn't play, I mean, I
Even more so.
He hasn't done anything to really impress me. But I mean, listen. He's managed a winning team. He's ran the offense. They're
I
undefeated.
mean, he did his job. I mean, yeah, he did what he was supposed to. Managed a good defensive team, you know.
Yeah, he's.
But I'm picking the
Overall.
Broncos. I'm picking the Broncos, but the Falcons get 3 or 4 touchdowns. They should win because I don't see the Broncos
Should.
being able to do that.
Should.
They probably will win. I'd bet on it.
Next game is we're both taking the Broncos. By the way, I don't think I said my pick. We're both taking the Broncos. Next game,
This could be the game of the week.
Bengals at the Cowboys. AJ Green, he comes out one week, he has 170 yards and 2 touchdowns. The next week you don't hear anything out of him.
He does that a lot.
And then the next week he comes out, he does it again, and then you don't hear anything out
He
of
has
him.
good averages at the end of the year, but it's like 8 good games, 8 decent games that
Yeah.
were like, you know, they weren't forcing him to fall or anything. But this should be a close one. Like I think this could be a really toss up.
I think the Cowboys take their second loss right now. That's what I think happens. I think the Bengals use
Well,
AJ Green.
it's at Dallas though, so I'm gonna pick the Cowboys just because they have a good run game. That's what the Dolphins couldn't establish. Like early when they played on Thursday, they could not run. So then once they got behind, they didn't have an option to run. If you start out good and running, like you might be able to.
Ezekiel Elliott's proven me wrong.
He has the most rushing yards in the league right now. He's a rookie. Like I think a lot of people are like kind of getting a little overboard with like how good they are, but I'm gonna pick him this week. I don't know why. I feel like
They've impressed me. No.
I think he'll get another good game and he'll establish a run. Dak Prescott just does, you know, he's a game manager, but he's good at it.
He goes in there and he does exactly what he's asked to do, and he does it to a T, and he crosses all his T's and dots all his I's. That's what he does.
So you got the Bengals, I got the Cowboys.
I got the Bengals only on a good AJ Green performance. There's nobody else on that. I mean, Jeremy Hill.
Giovanni Bernard, I think he needs more touches in the offense. I think if I was running the offense, I'd have him doing everything. I'd have him catching passes way more. I'd actually put him in the slide a little bit. He's a playmaker. I don't know why he doesn't get the ball more.
So you're taking Cowboys?
Yeah, I got the Cowboys.
Alright, I got the Bengals.
This next one will be good.
This next game.
It's the Bills. It's the Bills going to
LA.
Los Angeles. No, I'm still not used to calling them the LA Rams, but the Bills, they just got off a win against the Patriots. They're a great team, but it's just like the Rams upset everybody, and I don't even know if that would be an upset because they're even teams. But the Rams can beat anybody, like good, but like they'll lose to like mediocre teams.
Well, you got the Bills who just shut the Patriots out, and you got the Cardinals or the Rams who just beat the Cardinals. It's like what?
Didn't they beat the Seahawks this year too?
Yeah.
They always beat. They swept the Seahawks. The year like 2014, they went to the Super Bowl. They swept them. But they get like 7 wins each year. But they beat the best teams. All the 7 wins are good teams.
I'm glad they finally paired these two up because these are the 2 teams that always go in and just upset the
upset machines. That's what they are.
Upset
machines. It's very hard to say.
Say that 3 times fast. You can't do it.
You can't do it. If you do it, put it in the comments. Give us a link to a video of you doing it.
Yeah. We'll send you a prize. Just kidding. We don't have any money to send you a prize.
We'll give you a nickel. Bills and Rams. I'm gonna pick the Bills. I feel like they'll just pull it off. Tyrod Taylor will just be scrambling too much for them to stop him picking.
I'll tell you what. If you're taking the Bills, I'll just take the Rams just because
if you don't
who
know,
really knows?
Yeah, just pick the Rams. It'd be interesting that one.
Who really knows? I mean, this is gonna.
It's like that with the next one too.
The next game I'm pretty decisive on who they've proved me wrong. The next game's the Chargers at the Raiders, and I'm taking the Raiders. I like the Raiders.
I think the Raiders should win. I think the Chargers will win. Take that however you want. I think the Raiders are a better team. I think the Chargers win. Just because, I don't know why. Just divisional opponent, you can never take them really. And they have had a couple bad losses, and I think they're just like, all right. They want everything we have
If
about
we
them.
want any shot, we got to do it right now.
We gotta do it against our divisional opponent. I mean, that division's crazy. I mean, the Raiders beat the Broncos like a week before the playoffs started last year. I mean, this division's crazy. I mean, I'm picking the Chargers.
Chargers. I'm taking Raiders. Michael Crabtree is impressing me.
Derek Carr has impressed me too.
I'm not a big Derek Carr fan. I think he. When I say I'm not a fan of someone, that doesn't mean I don't think they're good. I think Derek Carr is tremendous. I think he's a great quarterback. I think he's just a very, very flashy game manager. Does that make sense? I think he
normally gets like a touchdown or two, and then occasionally out there 4 or 5 or 3 or 4, not 5, 3 or 4 touchdowns, and people will just go off and be like, oh, he's quarterback of this generation and all that.
Yeah, I think there's other guys.
They do that though a lot. I mean, they do it with Carson Wentz too.
I think there's other guys that are up and coming. Blake Bortles that are more impressive to me than Derek Carr.
Yeah, he really is.
I
I just feel like
like Michael Crabtree. I'm a Michael Crabtree fan. I like him. I've always liked him.
he's underrated for sure.
I've always liked him ever since he was on the 49ers. I've always liked him. So I'm taking more of a heart pick. The Raiders just.
I mean, the Raiders. I mean, most people would pick them. I'm just picking the Chargers because I think their defense has been kind of not really even remotely what people thought it was last year. They looked like they had high hopes. They got back on track last week, but I feel like Phillip Rivers is just going to tear them apart, and he's going to pull a win out.
Yeah, he hasn't had a tear up game yet.
He has a monster game like 4 or 5 times a year. It's kind of happening. And this is the week.
It probably is about time for one.
He's due for one.
He didn't get one against the Saints like he normally does, so.
I'm calling it this week.
All right, that's a good little pick there.
See, this next game we got is the Sunday night game. We have the Giants and the Packers, and this should be a shootout, to say the least.
A shootout.
No, I mean I wouldn't say no defense because the Giants have improved it, but
2 B-, C defenses. I don't think there's such thing as an F grade defense in the league. I mean, they're NFL, they're pro football
I mean
players.
you might be able to. I mean maybe the
If
Saints.
we're gonna say
the Saints about 3 years ago.
If we're gonna say there has to be somebody who is the F, yeah, I mean the Saints. I mean, who else? Well, I guess the Saints. I think that's the worst defense in the league. Wouldn't you agree? I mean, right now.
They're not the
Right
best for sure. I mean, I'm not talking about specifically over the years, but we're not really talking about the
But-
Saints. I don't know we're ripping on them.
but
The Giants and the Packers.
well, our point was we were gonna make a full circle here and bring it back to. I mean, you got 2 mediocre defenses who. This is one of the very rare scenarios where 2 NFC teams are just gonna straight out shootout, unless you're talking about the Falcons and the Saints. But
I think I would expect the Packers to win. I could see the Giants winning, but I'm just gonna pick the Packers. I think if
Yeah,
it
I've
comes to
already
shootout, they're gonna win.
I've already started circling the Packers on my page here. I'm taking the Packers.
I think the Packers will just overwhelm them. But if Odell Beckham, now this is one thing I want to talk about. Like, if Odell Beckham could have some composure, I think they could win. I mean, a lot of these people are like, is he a distraction? Is he not? Like, I mean, I think it's fair to say he is. I mean, he's definitely a distraction.
Absolutely.
I mean,
You
I'm all for like intensity. Like, oh, this guy's intense. Like, Des Bryant or Terrell Owens was, Randy Moss or whatever. Like, that is different from just completely disrupting your whole team. Like,
Yeah, whenever Odell Beckham, he's a distraction, and he's the kind of player where if Odell Beckham's not doing good, the Giants aren't doing good. If Odell
yeah, it
Beckham,
wouldn't be. I see why he's getting frustrated because if they're gonna win, he's gonna be the reason, and he's not doing well, so they lose it.
yeah,
That's why he's getting mad. I mean, he has a point, but it's like you can't. You can get frustrated. You can't get overwhelmed,
yeah,
which is what he's doing. I mean, he's almost pressuring Eli to throw it to him. I mean, they even change their game plan like that whenever he starts getting upset. They start throwing him screen passes when he can't get open. That's just like forcing it to him.
yeah, and you can't.
I mean, I see we want to get the ball in our most explosive playmakers' hands. I get that, but it's like you're only doing it to keep them satisfied. That is a problem.
Yeah, it boils down to what I just said. I mean, if Odell Beckham can't perform, the Giants as a whole can't perform. Both sides of the ball.
I mean, you can say Victor Cruz and Shepard.
I saw
playmakers,
Victor
but
Cruz dropping balls the other night that he never drops those passes ever.
Well, part of it's just the Vikings. They're overwhelming people with their
That might have something
pass
to do
rush.
with
You
it.
can't stop it.
I saw him dropping passes that I know Victor Cruz does not drop those
Well, the problem
passes.
with like their whole offense is Odell not getting open, which causes everyone else to, step up, and their offense is built around Odell Beckham.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And it's like, ever since Josh Norman got in his head, people are like, okay, well, it worked when he did it. Get in his head, it's over. And now all people are going to do is just do that. It's like, he set a blueprint. This is how you beat the Giants. You get an Odell Beckham, or this is how you beat Odell Beckham, which will probably help you beat the Giants.
Yeah.
And he just gets in his head, and that's a game. So everyone's doing now. Xavier Rhodes did it pretty well, in my opinion.
So we're going to take the Packers?
Yeah, I'm picking the Packers, I think. The Giants can rebound, but they need to do it quick. I don't know if they can do it this quick.
Yeah, it's definitely going to need to be quick. There's no question about that.
Speaking of rebounding, we got the Buccaneers and the Panthers. The Panthers need to rebound it immediately. They disappoint me.
We're both
Not just
Panthers,
because I'm a fan. I mean, I expected them to go all the way again.
we're both Panthers fans. I don't think it's a secret as far as heart.
I'm picking them again. I know you're like, you picked them. I'm picking them. The Buccaneers is like a perfect team we could come back on. It is the perfect situation. You got a down year. We usually beat 2 years ago, Cam Newton got hurt both times we played the Buccaneers. Derek Anderson came in, beat him no problem. It's hard for me not to pick him like that. Because Derek Anderson's going to end up playing, as far as I know.
I mean,
Like, it's like an 80%.
Cam didn't practice today. They're not releasing any statements. I'm assuming they're doing that because they don't want anybody to know.
They don't want a media storm either way.
Well, they don't want that, and they don't want the Buccaneers to go ahead and start. If they just don't say anything until like Friday, Ron Rivera, as a matter of fact, Ron Rivera said Monday, practice as normal Monday, practice as normal Tuesday. Today's Wednesday. They had a modified practice, which means, they'll do a lot more special teams stuff. I guess a lot more special teams plays than they normally would in a week. Offense and defense modified practice Thursday, normal practice Friday, normal practice Saturday, normal practice Sunday. That's the schedule this week for the Panthers. I would assume it's pretty similar for the the Buccaneers. My logic is if they're not releasing any statements on Cam Newton, that makes the Buccaneers prep for both quarterbacks, which means 50% of your time is wasted on Cam Newton and he won't be playing. 50% of your time is wasted on Derek Anderson and he won't be playing.
I would say if I was running the team, I'd be like, all right, we're preparing for Cam Newton. Worst case scenario, they put in Derek Anderson, and now all we have to do is go, okay.
Okay, now they're
Now
passing.
we just don't have to worry about quarterback containment.
Yeah.
I mean, you're going to have to worry about a pocket passer every week. I mean, all you got to do is do what you usually do.
So
I think the Panthers should rebound it. I think because Jonathan Stewart might come back this week, right?
No, he's not. He's not coming back this week.
They said 2 weeks when he first got hurt. How long is he going to take?
I know he hasn't practiced with pads this week yet. And
Sometimes they do that, though. I could see him still coming back.
I think it's a stretch. I mean, he could, but
You have to get to the Panthers. I mean, the Buccaneers, I would say, if they were like undefeated or something, but they haven't done. I mean, they've been okay so far themselves.
yeah, no, they.
I mean, it's week
You're
5
taking
now.
the Panthers.
Yeah, I'm taking the Panthers. It's week 5 now. The good teams have to. I mean, if they're gonna continue to be good teams, they're gonna have to start winning now. Like the Cardinals, they gotta start winning now. The Panthers, they gotta start winning now.
When I turn the game on, when I'm sitting over here in the living room, which is just on the other side of this wall behind you guys, watching the game next Monday night. As soon as I turn the game on, as soon as I turn the cable box on, and it's 8:30 on Monday night, I want the Panthers to win. I'm picking the Buccaneers. I don't like to.
Not proud of it, but you're doing
I'm
it.
ashamed of it.
Ashamed of it.
I see they're gonna edge the. I just see it edging out of the Panthers. I see it. I see
There's
it.
no shame in losing the Buccaneers, though.
I
I really don't mean that. Like, I want them to win, but the Buccaneers, I mean, you got a young, good, capable quarterback. You got good defense, too.
I see it. I see it just tilting not our way one more time, and then from there on,
They're playing the Saints next week, anyway.
right off into the sunset. That's what I see happening. Just finish out the season with all wins. I feel like literally we're gonna lose this game 1-4, and I'm talking about 11 wins in a row.
I don't know about all that. That'd be what stretch.
I just
A couple West Coast swings will screw up that plan. Well, then again, I mean, a lot of people don't realize like the Panthers they're panicking and all this because they're having a bad start, but because they're thinking about last year. All they started off 13 or 14 0, right? Yeah, it was 14 0. Panthers never do that. That was a one-time thing. Like all these people are like, oh, they suck now. 2013 they started off 1-3, they end up 12-4. 2014 they started off 3-8-1 because they had a tie for some reason.
Yeah.
They ended up winning out. They went to the playoffs. I mean, this like last year is just a one-time only thing. That's not going to happen all the time. I think there's still a team that starts off slow because the games that we played last year earlier, Jaguars, Texans. Who was the other one? I remember it was a couple of teams that like were just kind of developing. I mean,
Last season.
they still didn't play the great. I mean, they started.
Buccaneers were an early when Jameis Winston, rookie quarterback.
Yeah, rookie quarterback. The Jaguars with a still young quarterback and Blake Bortles in his second year. The Texans with we don't know who our quarterback's gonna be. I mean, they still started up slow. They just won every game.
Yeah.
We played difficult teams this year. I mean, week 1, defending Super Bowl champions. Week 2, arguably the best defense in the league with the Buccaneers. Week 3, we won. Week 4, divisional opponent at their house.
Yeah.
Those are all 3 legitimate losses. I mean, I think they bounce back.
So, you're taking the Panthers?
Yeah,
I just want to get off the subject. I'm taking the Buccaneers, and I want to just leave it alone and not.
It'll be a good game though.
As soon as we're done with this, I can go back and want the Panthers to win. But when I come to reality, if I'm gonna go for as many right games as I can get.
That makes sense. You got to make the right decisions.
That's week 5. Sorry, we took a little bit longer than normal.
Yeah, it was quite a long time. If you watched the whole thing, good for you.
A couple things we want to touch on before we finish are. I got some things written down right here. One being our Twitter page.
Crazy.
We've been getting a lot of activity on our Twitter page. If anyone sticks around to see the end of this video, and
If you hear your trooper.
if you could go look us up and look at some of the NFL cards we're sharing. We've got all NFL playing cards.
We got a bunch of a lot of new, but a lot of old vintage NFL cards with legends and not only just legends, but a lot of guys that have been forgotten. Pro Bowlers.
We
I usually just we take a picture of it, we tag their name in it. We do it just if anybody likes football cards, they can see it. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
A couple of them have shared it though on their pages.
We had Donovan McNabb retweet ours, which led to about 17 retweets and about.
And it's up to like 23, 25, something like that now.
I know,
About 70 likes.
70 likes. I saw 65 was the last I saw.
It's up to like 70 now.
So check us out on Twitter at DPM Reviews.
It'll be in the description.
Follow us.
Below.
We'll put it down in the description below, like always. Follow us. Like us on Facebook. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Tell us what you want to hear. We do a weekly NFL prediction video. I know we said last week we're going to do a WWE video and a UFC video. We got really mixed up in our schedule. We got behind. They're going to be out this week. Don't worry about it. They will be coming.
I don't know how many people are upset about that. Hopefully there are some. I doubt it, but hopefully there are some.
It's kind of good we waited because we were going to do it, and then the UFC 205 card got announced, so now we got even more to talk about with UFC.
When are they dropping that pay-per-view? Or when is it going to happen?
UFC?
Yeah.
November 12th is the UFC
Coming
205.
out.
Conor McGregor going to go for a chance at holding 2 titles. Very interesting.
Want to be Seth Rollins?
That's a topic for another video though. You have to tune in. We'll tweet the videos out. We'll tweet everything out.
If you follow our pages, we'll update when we drop videos or whatever. So I mean, unless you just look on here, if you don't see it, it'll be on those. We'll share it.
Yeah. Like, comment, subscribe. You know the drill. Help us out. Help us get out there. Tell your friends.
If you don't have any friends, go get some.
Yeah, go get some friends.
And then show it to them.
And then show it to them after you get the friends. Show your friends the video, and they might think you're weird, but that's all right.
If they think you're weird, they're not friends you need anyway.
So, thanks for watching. If you stuck out, I know this is probably,
Nobody's watching at this point. Nobody.
Yeah, nobody's watching. We're sitting here doing this for ourselves. So we're just going to awkwardly.
Alright, we're turning it off now.
Yeah, see ya.